Hi. Hello. Welcome to Sheba Sunday. Hey there. Studio mode. And I click studio mode again. Hi. Hello. Welcome to Sheba Sunday.
What am I hearing?
Hey
oh
there.
my lord.
Studio mode.
What a cutie I am.
I click studio mode
Now,
again.
this is
How the magic happens, people. Hey. How you doing? Good to see ya. It's what is it? July 16th. A Sunday in July. Man, this has been the hottest time on like record. Um, these fossil fuel companies really fucked us over. Hope y'all are staying cool, and I'm glad you joined me for an episode of Sheba Sunday because I know it's just like a breath of fresh air. It's just like a cool drink of water. So, way to have some self care for yourself today, and join me. Welcome. How are you? How's your week been? Maybe how's your 2 weeks been? It's been a minute actually. Me and Billy went to Montreal in the last weekend. I wasn't here to do an episode, but whoa, we had a really fun time. Like, not only like really interesting conversations that I'm still like, you know, still mulling over in my head. Like, met some really cool people. We went to a powwow. I went to this electronic festival. I had these delicious Japanese sandwiches. It was just really great. Hey, Aaron, happy Sunday. Yeah, it was great. I loved it. Though, you know, the food overall in Montreal was just all right, other than these sandwiches. They were delicious. I had this egg one and then this like fried chicken one. Really great. How you guys been? Pretty good? Um, I also have one of my good friends is staying with us. We went to this concert yesterday at Wolf Trap. It was this orchestra playing the music from Studio Ghibli films, and Joe Hitachi, I want to say, was conducting, and my friend who's like really into anime and those films was like geeking. She loved it. So it's awesome. I love seeing people in their element about their things. Aaron, have you seen a Studio Ghibli film? Do you have a favorite one? When I was there, I was like, this is really beautiful because they had some of the like shots from the film and stuff. I was like, this is really beautiful. I should have done a little bit more homework and watched some of these films. I haven't really watched a whole lot of anime in my day, which is surprising because I'm married to a animator. But he also doesn't watch a lot of anime, so that's our work. You know, we're gonna be doing some of that this year in addition to all the other cool shit we're doing. Can't freaking wait. So anyway, that was really fun. Had a fun day. We also went to this like my friend had gotten married and they had a wedding reception, but it was a pool party. Fun as hell. Got to hang out with my nieces. For a brief second, I was playing with my one niece in the pool, and her braid got like hooked onto my nose ring, and so like my sister is like trying to like unhook us, and it just felt very like just like old times. My sister like swooping in to like save me from some like ridiculous situation I've gotten myself into. I appreciate it. She's just so great. I love her so much. Yeah. Anywho, thanks for joining me. Today, what did I end up on deciding on this name? I think it's like I want to say the new rules of relationships. Yeah. It's been like an interesting 2 weeks. Yeah. It started off. You heard about Keke Palmer? You know, American Sweetheart. What is she in? Aquila and the Bee. She might have been in Nutty Professor or Dr. Dolittle or something. I wasn't allowed to watch those movies when I was a kid. Not because of Keke Palmer, but because of the bathroom humor in it. It's really ridiculous. But anyway, Keke Palmer's just been in a lot of stuff. She was in Nope. I don't know if you saw Nope recently. And she's just a multi-talented black woman. She's amazing. Let me bring her up for you. Hold on. We got, let's see, Keke Palmer. Keke Palmer. Here we go. I think this one. Just so you get a look at my girl. Oh, wait, can you see that? Yes. Baddie. So cute. All right. Keke Palmer was in the news. What's his name? Jonah Hill. This motherfucker. This fucking dude. Which, like, look at the first the pictures of him and look at the pictures of Keke. Okay. And then also, what's her name was in the news? Halle Bailey, I want to say. Halle. She was just the Little Mermaid. Ugh, look at this, like, little cherubic angel woman. So cute. Anyway, these people were involved in incidents, I guess you could say, over the past fortnight in which, like, we all collectively got to realize, like, what are some long-standing kind of, like, relationship rules and expectations that we all kind of still hold and don't always recognize until they're brought front of mind by, like, a celebrity kind of thing. You know how celebrity obsessed they've made us in these things. So yeah, I think a lot of the old rules about, like, relationships are, people using, like, threats of shame, career interruption, the loss of relationship or resources, using those to kind of convince women to, submit to the will of men in some way. Y'all remember the Scarlet Letter? Did y'all have to read that in school? Oh, okay, wait, before I even get into it. Aaron says, Spirited Away has to be my favorite. And we adore Keke. Yes, like, she's probably the person most likely to play me in a biopic about myself. It's probably going to be Keke Palmer if it's not me, But, ooh, we could do, like, a Parent Trap kind of a thing. They're like, but they don't look anything alike. They're not really twins. Whatever. Anywho. Okay, yeah. So, like, she wore this dress to an Usher concert. And Usher, brought her on stage and was serenading her, And, yeah, what's his name? Keke's recently had a baby. Her baby daddy, a guy named Darius. I know, you're like, who? He tweeted, it's the outfit, though. She's a mother. To Keke Palmer. Baby. But I get it. That really is, like, kind of the old script. It's like from like the Scarlet Letter, when they're like, okay, a woman has sex out of the strictures of wedlock, does something outside of the norms of the community, we shun her. She's the wrong one. The man doesn't really, like, come into it. The woman did the bad thing, and we have to all collectively punish her. And I remember reading that and being like, why did we read this fucking book? And okay, so let me bring you Keke Palmer. So let me go up here really quick. Sheba Small. Here's my baby Keke. This is the outfit. Look at this. Like, if y'all have seen me, I dress regularly, much more sexy than this. But she's wearing a black bodysuit, and it's got, like, a sheer polka dot dress overlay. You see it? Hottie, looking like a baddie, and, like, honestly, looking kind of, I wouldn't say prim, but, like, you could wear that, to, like, the White House gala. What are those dinners that people want to get invited to and stuff? Like, this is something I certainly can imagine a celebrity woman wearing out in public, right? It's not, like, too far out of the realm of possibility. But so he saw this outfit. He saw her at a concert where Usher was serenading her, and he said, It's the outfit, though. You a mom, he tweeted. And then when people were like, who is this man? Who in the hell is this man saying this right now? He said, we live in a generation where, we live in a generation where a man of the family doesn't want the wife and mother to his kids to showcase booty cheeks to please others. And he gets told how much of a hater he is. This is my family and my representation. I have standards and morals to what I believe. I rest my case. First of all, everybody thinking they're a Supreme Court justice once they like set out an argument like this and this. You don't know how. Like, that wasn't a good case. And we're going to break it down, baby. Yeah. So first of all, he says we live in a generation where the man of the family doesn't want the wife and mother to his kids. Man of the family is not a phrase I'm as familiar with. I've heard more man of the house. And I think he intentionally did not say man of the house because it's Keke Palmer. She got all the money. It's her house. He's living in it. So he's not really the man of the house. But also he says doesn't want the wife and mother to his kids. They have one child and they're not married. He hasn't, asked her to marry. They haven't done that contract. Which, when she first said she was pregnant, I was like, oh, girl, don't I don't know. I just worry that when someone won't even do the easy thing, which is agree to sign a contract with you that affords you certain rights and privileges and tax write-offs and benefits. If they're not even willing to do that with you, I would certainly not trust them to be a good co-parent in the much more difficult endeavor of having a baby. But I was like, all right, you rich, go for it. Do what you want to do. But now this man who isn't even a husband is like, oh, I can have standards for how my wife, acts. And one, you can, but you kind of got to keep them to yourself and accept that this is who this woman is. We know who Keke Palmer is, as much as we can know any celebrity, but she's not someone who's very I think she's done everything right. She's not one who represents the Black community poorly, and it feels like the 1 second she does something that makes a dude who you're wondering maybe who her baby daddy is, right? So this is a post from an article from 4 days ago about who is this guy? Because we're all like, who is this? So basically this is him, and his brother is Insecure actor Sarunas Jackson. I haven't seen many episodes of Insecure. Apparently this is his brother. This is the famous one. This is the one with any talent. This is the one who, puts Darius on the map. Darius is even not a good name. That's tough. Anyway, so Darius here is somebody's cousin, somebody's brother, literally only in the room because his brother did something. Riding on the coattails of some other man, swoops in. Keke Palmer is, so sweet, wants to maybe slum it with a non-famous, non-talented person, gives him a chance at an Insecure party. They've been dating since 2021. She, before this, Keke Palmer was like, I don't really do relationship stuff online, just mainly because I don't know how I would do it without looking cheesy or something. She's 100% authentic, but there's stuff that I save for family and friends. And okay, so he's a fitness instructor. He played football in college. And, the only thing interesting about him right now is other people. Other people that he has no real, what's he bringing to the table is kind of what I'm getting at. But, okay. So anyway, she was really, into him. She was like, we are best friends. We're having a baby. Hell yeah. Wait, what? There's some rumors going around. People have been in my comments saying, Keke's having a baby. Keke's pregnant. And I want to set the record straight. I am. Oh, that was Keke. I thought he was saying that. I was like, what? Is that man saying? What? Sorry. It's just, okay. Anyway. So she goes to a thing. She's wearing this. And he says, it's the outfit though. Oh my God. What on earth? And okay, so, and he's like mad that people are like calling him a hater. Man, sir, you are a hater. What you want? I really don't like how much I think a lot of men want to, like they know it's not okay to overtly abuse someone. Certainly you can't physically abuse them. And I think we're a little bit on the fence still about emotional abuse, but I think we have a kind of an idea that it's better than physical abuse. I just think it's a little bit more insidious, and it's more difficult to get away from, because like they can do like this. They can just be like, it's okay for me to have standards for my family, for me to have morals for my family. Like, shut up. What? I hate it. I feel like women bend over backwards. Literally, black women are 3 times more likely to die in childbirth than white women. Women do this with no marriage contract to protect them, and men are still like, it's not enough. You're not small enough yet. I'm still too insecure. I'm gonna need you to, and I'm okay. I'm allowed to have standards. What? I'm allowed to have, expectations about my representation. Darius, baby, Darius, honey. Who? If he was sitting next to me, I would be like, who is this man? How did this guy even get in here? You nondescript, you untalented, and yet he thinks that Keke is supposed to represent him. Like, what you want her to wear? Like these blessed be the fruit kind of ass meadow dresses that I've been seeing in Target. You know what I'm talking about? They're like very like prairie and like kind of like Mormon fucking weird commune dresses. I'm like, what is, like, no, we're not doing this. Anyway, yeah, like this kind of dress. Like, you want women dressing like these fucking weird things. And like, that's just, we don't have to do any of that. Anyway, so let's see, what does it say? Okay, during an appearance on Palmer's podcast, the dude said he held Palmer to a perfect standard. He says, at first it definitely was hard because it could be all very overwhelming. It was definitely overwhelming and intense. And it's like you almost feel that pressure of needing to be perfect. And so it really confused me and infiltrated my mind, because not only did I have to hold myself to that perfect standard, I was holding you to a perfect standard as well. And I'm sorry, Keke Palmer lived up to it. What are we... Maybe I'm missing context, but like, in what way has Keke Palmer disappointed us in anything? In what ways is Darius perfect in any way? Like, these men, just, what on earth? Anyway, so that happened. And I see, like, him, because I've seen like some people saying like, hey, it's okay for him to have standards. It's just, it's not cool that he, was public about it like that. They should have had a conversation. And yes, but also I don't think it's so like benign and just like, well, he didn't handle it the best, but no hard feelings. Like, I think Keke is very vocal about how private she is about her life. She chose someone who was not in Hollywood specifically because she didn't want to have a relationship that was all over the internet like that. And this dude then goes and like tweets about it. Like, sir, we didn't even need to hear anything from you. And I think that was intentional. I think he knows how much she values kind of being able to be in control of her image, as much as one can be, as a public figure on the internet, like in the age of the internet. And I think he was intentional about trying to use shame to try to like get people like, come on, we know what to do when we see a woman, a wife, a mother, dressed in a sexy way. We know what we're supposed to do, guys. Whore, come on. Like, wild. No. Old rule. We're not doing that anymore. It doesn't make sense. That's not cool. We know it's not okay to make fun of whores. We know. We saw Erin Brockovich, right? Women can still be very smart and powerful and helpful and useful and have big titties and be a mom, be a single mom. Y'all saw Pretty Woman. Lots of fucking Julia Roberts things have taught us the lesson that we're supposed to be kind to whores. That they're also very powerful in lots of other ways, and reducing them to simply how they want to present you know, is controlling and bullshit. And women aren't going to take it anymore, you know? And it's kind of great that, like, we have someone kind of like Keke who, you know, she's the breadwinner. Like, she's the woman of the house. She's the person of the house. And she already has a job. She's kind of, you know, Darius certainly doesn't have the power to affect her career, really, or anything. But he's still trying to, like, use the threat of shame, the threat of, like, losing access to relationships and resources as a way to try to keep her in line. And it just doesn't even make sense. Okay, next up, we've got Mr. Jonah Hill. Y'all remember him in Superbad? What is it? Okay, Sheba Small. Jonah Hill. Which, again, like, look at, like, the things for Keke Palmer. Look at my bad bitch. Look at Halle Bailey. Look at fucking Jonah Hills. These are the three probably most representative pictures of Jonah Hill. This is him, like, you know, kind of looking like, I feel like he's the perennially typecast as, like, the fat, schlubby loser friend who, like, Leonardo DiCaprio type dudes hang out with so that, like, the dudes look cooler in comparison. You know, women are like, ooh, I don't want to be with him, but I do want to get close to the hot guy next to him. That's who Jonah Hill is. I'm like, he's the type who, when he gets kind of skinny, like, this is still probably, like, you know, 32 BMI, which I know is a racist and classist and sexist scale. But, I mean, he's a white male rich man. So I think we can hold him to that standard. And he just looks weird skinny. We can all admit it. That's okay. Some people are big boned and they just look kind of weird and gaunt when they lose weight. And you didn't need to. You know, you already made plenty of money being a schlub, being this guy. Come on. We like this little just dude who's, you know, kind of lucky to get what he can get. And I don't know when this is from. Maybe that's from a movie or something. Anyway, this man will go, okay, he was dating this surfer. This woman, a woman named Sarah Brady. So this man was dating professional surf instructor Sarah Brady. This lady. Okay, you know, bathing suits, whatnot, pictures of her butt, pictures of her friends, bikinis, you know. Anyway, this man was like, let's see. Okay, so Sarah Brady, released a series of texts that were like showing their conversations, and it was Jonah Hill telling her things that made him uncomfortable, and her trying to be like, okay, let me take these pictures down if they make you uncomfortable, and him saying, like, these are my boundaries, and they're not unreasonable. And she released these texts because she was like, this dude is gaslighting me. It's bullshit. He's using all this therapy speech, and he's just still being abusive, but trying to pretend that it's not, because he's speaking in a calm voice and he's saying his expectations. Men think that however they want to say their insecurities, that women are supposed to change in order to fit into these dudes' lives. Anyway, so some of the things that he was mad at: she was surfing with men, boundaryless, inappropriate friendships with men, to model, to post pictures of yourself in a bathing suit, to post sexual pictures, friendships with women who are in unstable places and from your wild recent past beyond getting lunch or something, or coffee or something respectful. Those are the things that she does that make him uncomfortable, that violate his boundaries. And these are actually also things that, like, that's her job. Surfing with men, she's a surf instructor, you know? To model, posting pictures of yourself in a bathing suit, those are things that she did when you met her. Like, you probably met her because she's a surf instructor. You know, friendships with women, you know, unstable women from your wild recent past. Like, what? I see men seeing women having a support group, seeing things that they draw strength from, their independence, their job, their friends, and dudes want to try to make that something you should be ashamed of. And so they don't say you can't hang out with your friends, but they can say those friends are unstable and I just want to protect you. I don't think they have your best interests at heart. They influence you to do, things that aren't in your best interests. And no, I think they recognize that women have deep support groups. And if you want to control a woman and isolate her, you get her to mistrust her support group, or you get her to be afraid of being embarrassed. So you get her to be afraid that like her support group is going to be like, ooh, what's going on? So she keeps it a secret. Okay, Billy says, T.D. Jakes said during a sermon that women need to stop having personal desires and careers, period. A lot of old powerful ideas about gendered norms. Yep, it's true. It's true. It was this one where he was like, T.D. Jakes was like, women these days, you're so masculine. You're so proud about how you can buy your own house and your own car. And we don't care about that. You have no need for men. Like, is that what y'all think all men are good for? Is just buying a house, monetary things? Don't y'all also hate that? Don't you also not want women to only care about you for the things you can provide? But then you're also like, oh, she doesn't have to worry about men providing those things. Then men are like, well, what am I supposed to do? If I can't give her money, what am I supposed to do? And so then they try to like, rather than finding women who don't have money or who already don't do these things, they find women who have jobs and who are being successful at it. And they try to convince the woman to, make yourself smaller, to, your surfing little hobby is cute, but it's threatening our relationship. So give that up. I'm Jonah Hill. I'm a rich guy, so be with me and just give up who you are. Duh. And like, I see a lot of men kind of being like, that's not an unreasonable ask. Like, what? Yeah, it is. And we understand that like women who try to change men in any way are not only like doing something wrong, it's a fool's errand. We don't expect men to change for the women in their lives. If they're cheaters and womanizers and blah, 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 we expect the woman to kind of be like, well, that's who he is, and I love him. I know he's got a good heart. And like, maybe they don't actually, Okay, Billy said, they swim in like that is natural. Yep. They swim in that like it's natural, backed by history and religion. Exactly. They want to come all the statistics and they want to all the history that like supports their arguments about like women are always, they're naturally inclined to be risk averse and to want to have one man and to want to be protected by these men. And it's like, y'all wild. Billy says, how are you going to tell a professional surfer she can't surf with men or post in bathing suits? The audacity. Absolutely. And the audacity to like make those demands and pretend that you're the reasonable one, that you've been like, these are my boundaries. And if you don't want to do this stuff, then it's fine. I wish you the best. Like, shut up, dude. What? Of course. Like, get out. Go. I think a lot of men think that like when they say their insecurities, that women are supposed to be like, oh, you're uncomfortable about that? Okay, let me change myself. No, bro. Journal about it. Go speak to a therapist about it. And if you're not okay with women who post bikini pics, don't date a surfer. Jonah, which you were proverbially punching above your weight class on this one, and she's not for you. Look at this like picture of them together, sir. You're lucky that you got someone who was trying to like twin with you, who's trying to be like, let me not just only date a guy because he's rich, even if he's, ugly, like he could be kind. And I haven't seen that. I see sometimes rich dudes who are schlubby and not that cool, like masquerading as kind, nice guys. And so we all kind of think like, oh, that babe is probably with that schlubby dude because he must be nice. He must be kind. He must treat her better than these hot, looking dudes or whatever. And I don't think so. I think they neg women into being like, oh, you're just like all the other women who just want someone who's like one of these beefcakes who's going to treat you badly. I let you be yourself, and I don't care that. And it's like bullshit. It's bullshit. Okay. So Billy was also saying, at the very least, Jonah Hill did this privately in combo, and it was leaked after. It wasn't like a public tweet. So there's that. Just adding some complexity. Totally. But I also think he didn't release it because it makes him look bad. Right? We understand that, like, when you read the tweets, it's actually not very appropriate what he's doing. And so he gets to look like the good guy and feel like the good guy. And like, I think it's even tougher when someone is emotionally abusive and it's, you know, you kind of have to keep it a secret, you know, like women don't want to be the ones who are responsible for, you know, ruining a good relationship. And it's like, oh, you broke up with him because he was uncomfortable with bikini pics. That's unreasonable, girl. And like, no, it's not actually. And I see him in his tweets, in those leaked texts, trying to isolate her from her friends, trying to let her know that, like, you had a wild recent past and you're still hanging out with those unstable women. I just care about you. They don't. They're lying. He's performing. He's an actor, and he's performing, and we're falling for it. Some of us are. Not me. Jonah is out of pocket and out of his lane and out of his mind. Yes, Aaron. I'm like, I feel very blessed. The people I attract and who resonate with me, I don't know, they see things that are like seemingly obvious to me, and I'm like, I'm not being fooled by what this guy is doing. Like, oh great, he's only abusing her in private. Great. Like, I'm really, and I also see Jonah Hill is famous. He's the famous one in that relationship. And so for him, doing things in private might be more beneficial for him. But for people like Keke Palmer's baby daddy and who I'll talk about next, Halle's boyfriend, those guys are less famous than her. So they might need to be public in order to be abusive, for their abuse to be more effective. They got to take their shit public. So that brings us to Halle Bailey's boyfriend, whose name is, here, let me go to Sheba Small really quick. His name is, I learned only from, you know, very recently, from this incident actually, I learned that she was dating a guy who is named DDG. He has been described variably as a E to Z list celebrity. He's a rapper and a Twitch streamer. Anyway, Halle Bailey, you might recognize her as the first black Little Mermaid. There was a lot of, you know, racist backlash to like this pretty ass bitch just being, you know, just getting money and people being kind of like reading a lot more into it, giving her a lot more ire than this 23-year-old deserves. Anyway, so recently her unfamous boyfriend did a song called Famous. And we're going to just go through those lyrics a little bit right now. Famous lyrics. Okay. So, another man who, if he was sitting right next to me, I wouldn't recognize him. But I digress. Okay, the chorus of it. Fall in love, I hate that shit. Knocking me off my grind. I can't fuck with relationships. I ain't even got enough time in a day for me to chase a bitch. I don't even ask for much. I ask you to do the basic shit. Hardest thing I did was fall in love with a famous bitch. Now, I think we can all agree, if the hardest thing you've ever done is fall in love with a famous bitch, you have objectively had a very easy life. You have won the lottery. A black man who the most difficult thing for him is falling in love with a famous woman. Not exactly working in a coal mine. Not exactly the Emmett Till of our fucking day. Really a MLK of our generation. What on earth? And I never hear, like, whenever people are like, oh, this generation's so weak, we never talk about this. How, like, the men are, like, the most difficult thing for them is, like, women being able to support themselves successfully. Men are like, no, they figured out how to do making money. Now we can't trick them into working against their own best interests. Dang. Okay. Anyway, I think we can just go through this song. Again, ironically titled Famous by this fucking dude. Okay. And so he's referring to, I think the famous bitch he's referring to is Halle. This angel. This man said the hardest thing he ever did was fall in love with her. Okay. Also, I love reading rap lyrics because it's just like sounds really funny. So, fans all on my penis. Penis. Too much chest, don't need it. Don't even need it. Okay, anyway. So in his verse, he said, I'm trying to figure out what we're going to do. How are we going to get to the top? Filming a movie, now you kissing dudes. You know I love you a lot. I don't give a fuck if that shit's for promo. I don't want to see this shit no more. Why is y'all holding hands in the photo? You know I'm insecure. That's a no-no. Wow, really Tupac with the fucking lyrics. Really Billy Button with the lyricism over here. But yeah, so he's like talking about how insecure he is that his girlfriend, an actress, who he only knows, presumably because she's a famous actress, he's mad that sometimes the role calls for her to kiss someone. And promo photos, they can't hold hands because, when you hold hands with a coworker, you'll forget about your lame rapper boyfriend, which that's a reasonable fear. He does seem really not cool. Okay, he says, want to leave you, but I'm too attached. Yeah, to her checks. Who in the hell is this man? Take you shopping, I'm thumbing through racks. I want to see if that's really how Halle's shopping trips go. That he is thumbing out $1,000 bills or whatever. Is that what a rack is? $100 bills for her to go shopping. I know that y'all have Amazon. I know y'all do it online. Stop. Okay. Blah, blah, blah. All these niggas that be in your DM trying to tell you they proud, but them motherfuckers don't even know you. So I want to know how. I'm sorry. Halle Bailey is supposed to not think that others are proud of her. And if they knew her like he did, they wouldn't be so proud. I see all these subtle little fucking digs, not subtle digs at her. Anyway, he says, I know that's just part of the game. All these industry niggas is lame. They just want you because you got a name. And because you the girl that I claim. Sir, I am positive that the men in Halle's DMs are not doing it because you date her. They don't know you. I didn't know you. I'm surprised, honestly, that Halle knows you. How did y'all meet? I want to hear that meet cute story. Where did that person even come from? I bet he was like, hey, I'm DDG. And she was like, who? Security. Who is this man? Ooh. Anyway. So the audacity of these men, no talent, and yet think that the reason the woman is getting any attention is because people are trying to harm him in some way. Baby, they don't have to do anything. Look, you doing this on your own. Look at how good you are at fucking up your own life. So easy. But yeah, trying to like let this woman know that, they don't even know you. They're not really proud of you. They just want you because you're famous. He's also telling you who he is, All these industry niggas is lame. They just want you because you've got a name. Halle, girl, I hate to be the one to have a come to Jesus, but he only wants you because of your name. And once he's got you, he's going to try to tear you down. And I know that. Because in the next verse, he says, I've been so insecure thinking you really be fucking niggas in the movies you're with. But on the internet, I just be cooling it. But in my head, a nigga really losing it. See, he's playing it cool. So, gotta be paying good because you keep doing it. I might just tweet something just to ruin it. I love that they're saying the quiet parts out loud, though. Because, I love a clear, Exhibit A. I rest my case, Darius. That's how you should be using this. A sentence analysis of this thing. But no, these guys, they don't even know. Anyway, I might just tweet something just to ruin it. I got a platform. I'm abusing it. Oh my God. Oh my God. They're like totally like, I've got a platform, I've got a microphone, I'm going to abuse it and try to ruin your career. What? Wow. He goes on to say, it's a couple things about your job I want to know. I do, it says in parentheses. When you shoot your movie, do these niggas turn you on? When you leave the set, do y'all still text each other over phone? Just because they're filming it don't mean that it ain't wrong. And then he has the reprisal. Hardest thing I did was fall in love with a famous bitch. He also actually reprises, it's a couple things I want to know. When you shoot your movie, do these niggas turn you on? These men are so jealous. It's wild. It's wild. Anyway, oops, sorry, I'm kind of moving these things around. Yeah. So Billy says, this one is wild, unbelievable. Relationships have been reduced to capitalist clout chasing and clever business moves. Exactly. And it's tough because men have been, they've got a faulty valuation system. They still think that the old rules apply, that you want to be able to reap and leech all of the benefit and profit from a woman's labor by doing as little as you can. If you got to sabotage her, if you got to tear her down in order to keep her small, as long as you can reap that benefit, that's what you're supposed to do. And I see these three different examples of men, two who are the less wealthy, less well-known people, and one who is the wealthy man with more power. I see them employing different techniques. The wealthy man understands that his reputation is what it is, and so that he benefits from doing his stuff in private, of making it look good and doing this stuff in private. And the poor dudes, they understand that she has more power, and her public sphere, her public facing thing is where she draws strength. So let me try and attack her there. They say it in the song because they're not creative. So all they know how to do is stream of consciousness their bullshit and then be like, I'm a rapper. Like, the audacity. I'm like, we gotta learn from that, ladies. Like, truly. Like, these dudes really just hope that we're gonna not catch on, and they're sad that we are. And that's why I see a lot of the commentary is often split kind of along gendered lines of men trying to be like, so what did Darius do that was wrong? Jonah Hill's allowed to have standards. Darius can have standards. DDG, of course you're going to be insecure seeing your girlfriend kissing men as part of their job. Stop. You don't have, just because you say it in a reasonable tone doesn't make it reasonable. Steel wool wombat. That doesn't make sense, even though I said it in a reasonable tone, right? We were on to you. We get it. We see what you're doing. We understand that we can use the letter, stick to the letter of something, and not adhere to the spirit of it. So you say one thing while you're doing bullshit down here, and you expect people to not call you out. So what I'm seeing a lot nowadays is men understanding that it's not okay to be abusive. It's certainly not okay to be overtly abusive. You can't be punching women. And you can't, they know that you're not allowed to emotionally abuse people, but they're also like, what is emotional abuse? Setting standards? Oh, we can't say anything anymore? Oh, and when we do talk about our insecurities, you guys get mad at us. Like, sir, use your insecurity. Don't write a song. Go tell it to your therapist. Your therapist will tell you that's your job to work through this shit. You don't want to date a famous woman. Don't put yourself through the horrible, hardest thing you have to do just to date someone that you don't really seem to like. If the cost of being with her is too great, which obviously it is, gotta move aside, baby. You gotta move aside. I'm sure there's plenty of people who are happy to drink the bathwater of Keke, Halle, and this Sarah Brady, who I don't even know, but you gonna make me follow a white woman just to be like, girl, he's not worth it. He's not worth it. So I see, men wanting to not be the bad guy, wanting to use therapy speech, like for their own benefit, and like they want to act like the bad guy, but not be called the bad guy. we have to have grace for them. They're trying, you know. They weren't taught how to use their emotions, and now they're trying, and you're mad at them. It's like, come on. If you're going to be the bad guy, at least be okay with, like, when your actions are called out as harmful and toxic and manipulative when they are. Yeah. So yeah, this is all a bunch of jealousy and control and manipulation and insecurity disguised as love and boundaries and reasonable expectations and honesty. And it's not. And I hope to help people. I hope to help women, you know, believe themselves, because it is kind of a collective gaslighting that we see going on, and that women, you know, take up the cause too. We've been taught that, like, if we agree with men, if we side with them, if we try to have grace for them and understand that, well, their intentions were good, that they will treat us better. And they won't. It's a lie. Look at our mothers and grandmothers. It's a lie. The men want to reap all the benefit from you, and they don't want to give you the credit. They want to make you feel bad about it. They want you to give away your valuable power for free. They want to be able to direct it. They don't even want you to be able to direct it. They see Keke Palmer directing how she wants to, and they're like, come on, you know a mother doesn't dress like that. I don't know that. I don't know what you guys mean. Yeah, so I also saw, like, a couple of things under the ones for Black women, for Keke and Halle. I saw, like, a kind of, oh, well, like, women say they want protection, but then they dress like this, then they act like this, which is kind of saying, like, women have to accept my protection or else, you know. And, like, accepting my protection is, like, do everything I say, or else I am not going to protect you, and all these other men who are out to get you are gonna, like, pounce upon you. Ladies, we gonna be fine. Don't worry. These men don't know how to protect themselves. They certainly don't know how to protect you. Don't, like, believe yourself. You're right. Yeah, and so I like piercing through this illusion. We have this idea, like, the old rules were kind of like, women, you exchange your autonomy and freedom for protection from a man, in exchange for a man's protection. And I think we've seen that's not a good trade. Isn't that literally kind of like the point of Little Mermaid? Like, don't give up your voice and your ability to move about independently for a man. Don't give up your voice and legs for a man. You know, I think that's the moral, the overarching thing we should learn from that. And I see that playing out in real time now. A lot of men really want women, like T.D. Jakes and Jonah Hill. They want women to willingly choose to make yourself smaller so that you can fit into this man's life, so this man can have space to feel like a man. Like, don't worry about them. Don't worry about these dudes. I also kind of see, with the, like, women want protection and then they act like this, especially with Keke and Halle, I feel like there's colorism that's at play there too. I think we have a message, a kind of anti-Black misogynoir message that, like, Black women, you kind of have to, like, you should be lucky that anyone wants you. You got to accept what they give you. Sorry, you have standards? No. And it used to be worse, so you should be lucky that all he's asking is for you to change yourself completely for his comfort. And you're not, and, like, that's colorism, baby. Sorry. Women, Black women, can have standards, just like men want to have standards. And it's okay if men don't want to live up to those standards. Women don't have to keep lowering theirs in order to meet you guys. No thanks. We recognize that other women are better at giving us orgasms and meeting our needs than the average man. So, like, it's okay. It's all right. We'll be good. And I see, like, a lot of kind of, oh, we just care about you guys, you know, we just want, you know, women to be happy and blah, blah, blah. I was like, okay, well, then listen and shut the fuck up. Decenter yourselves. Stop making it about you. You know, let these women be great rather than making them useful and domesticated and, you know, someone different than the person you chose. Yeah. So I want, like, I feel like new rule. No more compromising who you are to fit into a man's life. Be who you are from the gate so that they fall in love with you. And so that they can't later be like, oh, I didn't know you were this person. Yeah, you did. You knew I was this person, and you were hoping that I would change to be someone that you would feel more secure around. And that's not me. And that's okay. But, like, we got to start, like, not doing difficult work for men. Like, they got to do the difficult work of being like, navigating through my own insecurities is difficult. And it's up to me to navigate through them and overcome them. It's not up to the woman in my life to understand what's going to make you feel bad and try to protect you from the reality of the fucking world. Sorry, we're being honest with you now. That's actually what you do to people who are loving. You are honest with them and you hold them to account and you challenge them to do better. Yeah, you know, men, if you are, like, intimidated by a woman who dresses sexy around men who aren't you, you know, there's lots of women who are like that. Go find them. You know, don't expect the women who are not that to change for you. What do you bring to the table, babe? Come on. So yeah, we're not doing that anymore. Don't date a bad bitch. If you can't handle it, go date a submissive woman. You know, who's not going to dress that way, who's going to contort herself to be who you need her to be. Go find that. There's plenty of women. Look actually in the comments of, you know, different posts discussing Keke and Sarah Brady. There are women in there who are excited to show the world, to show men what a good woman will do. Go date them. Please. Take those men and women, like, who are that. Please protect us from those men. Okay? Because we have bigger, like, shit to do. Billy says, she too will need to observe and accept the real stuff learned. The red and green flags as they present themselves. Oh, absolutely. Like, women, when someone tells you who they are, believe them. When men tell you about how they treat themselves, men, women, the women in their past, their mothers, believe them. Don't think that they've, you know their heart and they really want to be better, but they just had a difficult relationship with their own father and they're trying and, oh, white supremacy and all these things. Girl, no. Bye. Channel Tracy Ellis Ross and understand that you're the draw here. And so, you know, she too will need to observe and accept the real stuff learned. And that's Keke, that's Halle, and that's Sarah Brady. Understand that you're the draw here and that these men are trying to trick you into thinking you're not. And yeah, I think all three of them are moving on. Like, they definitely block these dudes, and I hope they continue it, though I know men who are insecure are really good at like clawing their way back in, like shaming you into giving them another chance. And, oh, you know, I learned now I understand what I did wrong and you're giving up on us. Girl, yes, bye. That's what happens when you like, you don't get a whole bunch of chances to, like, be with an amazing person. Sorry, you got to figure it out when you start dating. Isn't that why you dated them? Because they were amazing? And now you're like, oh, I didn't know I had to treat someone nicely in order for them to stay in my life. What? So, ladies, keep it moving. And you'll make room for the person who's for you. It's wild. So yeah, insecurities are normal. You deal with it with a journal, trusted mentor. That's part of your shadow work. You don't deal with it by demanding your partner change. Accept they aren't for you and move on. You don't shame your partner into changing for you. Yeah. Oh, I had a friend tell me about one of her friends, who's a woman who was dating this guy who kept, who like I don't know if he cheated on her with this other girl, but they kept like he kept like liking her pictures, kept continuing a relationship, and whenever he would get caught, she would be like really mad, and she would be like, "You can't talk to this girl." And he would do it for a little bit, and then he would do it again, and she would keep going, "You can't do that. He's so bad. He's in the, like he needs to do this in order to," and like, girl, no, you need to accept that this guy isn't willing to adhere to your boundaries. So you got to go. Don't expect him to be someone different than he's always been, you know? And like I feel like you kind of have to do it like if this person and your relationship is never changes, if it never improves, would you still like take it? Would you do this forever? If not, he's probably not for you. Yeah. I wrote down Billy. So who like I love learning about him and with him and you know with other people. It's so great. Billy is very like cis hetero passing. He's very much like what is it? He fits into the like hegemonic male ideal. Like he has a very masculine kind of look to him that other men like respect. And like really, you know, his life too is very like he's successful in all the ways. He has a great sex life. He's well respected. He's safe, you know, he's not like his life isn't in danger. And he gets to just like live all of his dreams. So his behavior is the standard for all you other dudes. If you need like an example of, oh, what can dudes do? Like look to someone like Billy, like who's got like a bad bitch as a wife and like has an amazing life. How does he treat women? Do women feel safe around them? Do women feel safe dressing sexy and not being shamed? You know, do women feel like safe being able to like be themselves, be flawed humans and still be treated respectfully? Yeah. Anyway. Yeah. So okay, what does Billy say? I think you got to start from the fact that relationships are 100% consensual in every new moment. Yes, absolutely. No one is forcing you to be here. You got to create the terms to allow it to be chosen again and again, not control or manipulate. My baby, he's so brilliant. Oh my God. It's so true. Like I love it. You know, we have our negotiations meeting every month. Like I always hated the idea of like a woman is a ball and chain. I am not keeping anyone in prison. Like if you don't want to be here, don't let me hold you. Please. I want you to go and find the person who's for you in the same way I want to find the person who's for me. And the person who's for me isn't going to think of me as like a weight keeping them down, like a foot on their fucking neck. That's not me. And if I feel like that to you, it's a good clue that I'm not for you. That's okay. You know? And if the woman in your life, you feel like she's so, this and so this, let her go. And like, if you like feel like, but we've been in this for a long time, or, you know, we have kids together or this, don't use that as an excuse. It's going to be difficult. You're going to look like the bad guy, but you got to do what's best for you. You got to choose you, even when someone else doesn't choose you. You're the only one who's got to keep choosing you. Billy says, just keep it a buck always. And y'all both have the right to adjust, grow together, reconcile, or remove yourself from the equation. And you know, that's not just me assuming the worst. That's me like looking at the world and seeing over and over again that happening. And so like women, not that a marriage contract is a guarantee in any way that you will be safe, or that this man is going to stay with you, but consider that if he's unwilling to do that, you know, it's a very risky choice then to have a child with them, which is a much more permanent, far-ranging decision than, you know, signing a little fucking piece of paper. it's very easy to get divorced. It's either party can do it. You don't need both people to consent, and you can do it at any time. So, like, unlike having a child. So, just, red flags, green flags, that to me is one to look out for. And I also, if there's a man who has children by other women and who he hasn't married, that's a red flag. He has a pattern of doing the important thing and not really, wanting their cake and eating it too. Which I get it. When I have cake, I eat it. That's how you're supposed to, have cake. But like, that's how you're supposed to treat it. But like when, dudes like show you, this is who I am. I'm someone who, when I want to create a human, I'm really into it for like a couple minutes. And then I'm okay with like a woman doing the bulk of the difficult part. I'm like, okay, cool. That's a red flag for me. Yeah, Aaron says, Billy the GOAT. True. It's true. He's great. He's a really cool guy. He has a very, he's been around women in a position where he interacted with them as humans, so he's able to treat them as humans. And so we like him, I'm speaking generally, but like, because he just talks to us like a human being rather than an image of a woman that he's been told. And so he has to kind of perform around. Yeah. So yeah, figure out who you are, ladies, do it on purpose. And the people who are not on your level will show themselves and fall off. It's good. Like there was several times, when me and Billy were getting together, and I was just like, shit, like I'm not supposed to like talk about my divorce. I'm not supposed to have sex on the first date. I'm not supposed to like talk about myself too early for fear that he will get scared off. But like, no, that's the goal. I want someone who's gonna be scared of me to like get out of my way sooner, so I don't have to waste my fucking time. So, lady, let's do that. Be yourself up front. Yeah, and when they tell you who they are, believe them. When they react like oof to like you saying how many people you've had sex with, or that you like to have sex, or that you have had sex with other people, whatever it is that they tell you, even if like you tell them that like you're a certain age and they go like oof, or like try to age shame you or something, like believe them. Believe that they're not just trying to be helpful. They're just trying to be honest with you. If your intuition is telling them this person is kind of being like snarky, believe them. Okay? Don't give them the benefit of the doubt. If they like, I think also like dudes who are like, I don't date women who have sex on the first date, or like women who don't respect themselves. Like, I already understand that this person has a very clear idea in his head of what a woman's respect for themselves looks like. And it's probably very different from what I, a woman who respects herself, thinks of as the actions of me respecting myself. If you get that. And that's okay. Just believe them. You don't have to keep like, well, let me go on 3 dates to see how they are. And then like, no, it's okay. If initially you're like, they creep me out. You don't have to give them another chance. And don't. They wouldn't if you creeped them out. Like, women are always expected to like, do the, go on their potential of a dude. So even if you don't like, have connection initially, give them a chance. Why? No. If women, like men don't choose women because they have the potential to be beautiful, or the potential to be skinny, or the potential to be faithful, or the potential to have, like to be monogamous. They judge you on what you are now. If you're not beautiful enough, submissive enough, compliant enough, they have no problem discarding you. And even if you are all of those things, they have no problem discarding you later when they find someone, a free-spirited, loose woman that they told you not to be. They have no problem fucking that woman and like jeopardizing your safety and well-being. So, believe them the first time. It's not your job to keep trying to convince this person to stay in your life, to convince them that, like, I am a good person. I am a respectable woman who you should choose, who you should wife up. Like, they got to figure that out. And if they don't, I mean, that's cool. Lots of people don't have good taste. Lots of people make poor decisions for themselves. Lots of people have have faulty pickers, you know? Like, they don't know they don't know what things to look for. They judge books by its cover. Certainly if the book is a feminine cover, they're like, ooh, whore, probably. Not useful. Not an interesting book. Not a useful book. And like, great. You don't want someone who's gonna not really understand that you're like an instruction manual, you know? Like, they're not gonna get it. And like, you wanna go to the person who's gonna understand you, who's gonna be like, oh, I see who you are. Hell yeah. I see who you are, and I know how to nurture you and fuel you. I also think, okay, so I also put in here, what did I say? See something, say something. Oh yeah. Like, I think we're told kind of, you know, hey, if Halle's happy, you know, that's our business. If these are the standards they want to have, okay, cool. But no, actually, I'm really grateful for the people who saw, like, when I was in an abusive relationship and they were like, Sheba, you don't cry. Why are you crying all the time now? You know, you're not stupid. You're not these things. Why do you think that now? That's really strange. And I think a lot of people are uncomfortable. They don't want to seem like the bad guy. They don't want to seem like a hater. They don't want to, you know, rain on someone's parade. And I, you know, after several of my friends have been in relationships where they've been, you know, abandoned and mistreated, I feel like, shit, why didn't I just say, like, you don't really seem to like this guy that much? Or like, what does this guy bring to the table? Or like I said, what to you? That's very unacceptable. Like, I don't think you should get over it. So now I'm that person. And like, while some people don't like it, certainly if, you know, I'm the one who's like, you should look out for that person. I don't know. I think it helps. I think it's helpful in the long run. I want what's best for everyone, and forcing yourself to stay in a relationship that you've been in for a long time just because you've been in it for a long time is not a good idea. Don't do that. Okay, so I also wrote, like, I think we're taught, you know, that like men don't want to marry women who do this or do this in order to attract a man, or like, you know, things along that nature. That's not the goal. These men don't even like themselves. Why are you bending over backwards to try to be someone they like? Like, of course they're not gonna like you. They haven't had the rich backstory that they have for themselves, and they don't even like themselves, despite having all that information. So don't worry about it. Your job is not to, like, okay, what do men like now? Okay, so I have to be a lady in the streets, but a freak in the bed, but also, you know, not too much of a freak in the bed and not too much of a lady in the streets. And a lady in the streets mean I can't work in these jobs. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Because they are not doing that mental gymnastics in order to keep you in their life. They trying to trick you into it, but like, don't worry about it. Stop worrying about these men's feelings and see the universe make room for the person who's actually for you. It's okay. Lots of people probably think I'm a bitch. I am a bitch sometimes. And like, bitches get shit done. Sometimes you gotta be a bitch. I don't know what to tell you. But I'm also very loved. You know, I'm also beautiful and admired in all the ways. And like, I have a great life, and everything's gonna like keep getting better for me. I'm gonna, like, as I keep understanding my shit more and I keep drawing more helpers to me, like, I'm only gonna get better at this. So like, do that, ladies and dudes, you know, if you're worthy, you know, if you're doing it like Billy. Yeah. And like, once you do that, like, it's wild. It's scary. The thought of like being yourself, being vulnerable, and someone rejecting you is scary, but like, it's so fucking worth it. It's worth it. Like, when someone like rejects you for being you, you can kind of be like, okay, great, that person's not for me. Whew. Thank God I figured that out now, rather than trying to like convince myself, no, they are for me, I just have to change. If I were just not so shitty, I would be for them. I'm like, no, it's okay, you're good. And like once you start like, you realize like, oh my gosh, you can do battle by yourself. You realize the thing that was keeping you down and making you feel stifled was this other person. You'll start to breathe clearly. Once you breathe clearly, you'll be like, what? Where am I? Like, what am I wearing? Who are these people around me? Because that's the other thing. Like, you might see like the way you were making yourself small in this one relationship, you were doing it in these other ways. You were choosing jobs or friends or family members or experiences that reaffirm to you that like you're bad and you kind of deserve a not great life, and so you should just make yourself as small as you can. That's not it. Okay, so Billy says the cake metaphor got weird. That's all right. Shit's gonna get weird, y'all. It's a paradox. This whole thing is like a paradox, and it's all made up. So, and we love weird shit. What are you talking about? Like, don't act like y'all don't like weird. Y'all gonna be studying these metaphors for generations to come, so get used to it. All right, let me jump off. I've been talking for a long time. It's so wild. I'll like look up at first and I'm like, oh, it's only been 20 minutes. And then I'll look up and it's been an hour past that. I'm like, shit. Okay, happy medium. All right. Well, I hope you guys have a really good rest of the weekend. Stay cool. Jesus Christ. Tell me like a cool thing that you learned or something that you want to like hear me talk more about or expand more on. I like love this color and like how it stays on for a long time, but like it looks janky so fast sometimes. Cute though. Oh my God, color looks so beautiful on me. Okay, anyway, everything's made up. I'll see you tomorrow for how Billy sees it. It's going to be a really good one. He's been having such great combos, and it helps me understand like my shit and like how to do my stuff differently, and really helpful. So yeah, see you tomorrow. Everyone have a great Sunday. Enjoy. Okay, before you leave, put your head up against your screen. Love you. Everything's made up. Don't worry so much about it, okay? See you soon. Love you. Bye.